Alright, we have the brand new Razer Manticor, which is an aluminum mouse pad. This is kind of the successor to the Ironclad, which kind of had a lot of problems, a lot of complaints, including from myself. I had an Ironclad previously. I really liked it, but it did fall apart. The casing, or the outer shell coating, started peeling just like what you hear online. If you go to Amazon, it's all you have to do to see how common that situation is. But so here's the successor as far as their kind of sandblasted aluminum coatings for a mouse mat. So let's just open this up really quick. I'll try to make the unboxing really fast. You know, it's typical Razer packaging with all your features, and how they could have that many features for a mouse pad. Pretty crazy, but you know, they have to do their marketing. So let's just make this quick. What you get is a very fancy carrying case, which is a little ridiculous. You know, personally I'd rather them take 10 or 15 bucks off the price and just give me the mouse mat that's really well packaged. But I guess for the price, which is $49.99 online from the Razer store, you better get something pretty cool. And I think they do a pretty good job. This is a serious carrying case in case you want to carry your mouse pad for whatever reason. So the mouse pad itself comes just like that. Really nice presentation, really well packed. You know, you would think nothing would go wrong, but I have a little complaint I'll get to. Typical Razer packaging, nothing too special there. Your stickers, your certificate, and that's about it. Of course, there's no drivers or any, you know, indication to go online for whatever, obviously. So that's the case. Looks like a laptop, pretty awesome, kind of overkill. So the mouse pad itself, I've actually used this for a good couple of months now, so that was kind of a fake unboxing, haha. But I've been really happy with it. I mean, the aluminum hard mats are something a little different than what you usually get. There's not a whole lot of them out there. Let me just set it side by side with the Ironclad. You can see it's the exact same dimensions, and since this is a successor to this, I think it bears mentioning, you know, a little bit of a comparison there. Besides the obvious, you know, the shape is different, and of course the color. The Manticor is a touch thinner. It's going to be hard for me to show you that, but there is a ridge. Now if I take my phone, you can see it's a little bit thinner. Nothing huge, not even, I mean, you're talking a ½ millimeter thinner, but it does lay a little lower to the ground or to your desk, which is nice. The edges are a little sharp, you know, there's no beveled edge or anything, so I have found every once in a while my palm will scrape, or my mouse will kind of travel off the edge and get the feet caught. Not very common because it is a pretty good size. This is the Death Adder, and of course if you want to do a size comparison to the iPhone 4, you can see, you get a pretty good idea that it's a pretty decent size. You know, it's not gigantic, but it's one of the larger size, and it's also cut more of a panoramic cut instead of a square cut. Say like on the Steel series, I think this is called the Experience. It's their glass mat, and it's kind of filthy, but I mean, you can see quite a big size difference. Good 2.5 inches there, wider, same height, or yeah, the same height that way. And as far as performance goes, this is a really smooth surface, and it is quite a bit faster than the Ironclad. The Ironclad had a lot of friction to it. It's a very strange surface, and while this feels pretty much the same to the hand, it travels a lot smoother, so you're going to have a lot faster glide than you did on the Ironclad. It's actually pretty similar to a glass mat, I would say, but just a little bit more controlled and a little bit more friction between the Steel series. The Manticor has a little bit more friction. Another thing to keep in mind is these aluminum pads tend to eat away at your feet, at your mouse feet. So I always use these little protective Teflon feet, which give it a really good glide, but also protect the mouse, because if you don't use something like this, you're looking at about 6 months and those things are just going to be eaten away. Of course, I mean, I haven't used it that long, so I don't know. I just know that from the ironclad that this thing just ate mice feet like sandpaper. It's not going to be quite as bad since this has so much friction, but you know, just keep that in mind. So as far as style, I have to say this is one of my favorite mouse pads as far as style goes, simply because it's so simple. It's very low profile, nothing too over the top. You know, most of these mouse mats have a nice big white branding logo there that if you're gaming at night, it can be a problem because you know, it's just like a little distraction in your peripheral that is kind of annoying. So I really love it. It's just a very sleek overlay of the Razer logo. On the back you have really heavy duty rubbered surface. It's almost like a basketball. This is kind of common what I'm seeing more in the new Razer products, like the Death Adder 2013 has something similar here to grip. And the Orb Weaver has a similar pattern of rubber on the palm grip. So good thing is it really works. You know, I cannot move this if I try. Well, you know, if you do it that way, but it is really going to stick. I've never had a problem of it sliding, so that's a plus. Another thing as far as performance is accuracy is just fantastic on this thing. I've tried at least a dozen mice on this thing and all of them track perfectly. You know, according to the mouse, you know, they track differently depending on the sensor and stuff, but I think it really brings out the best of every mouse. Ironclad could feel a little bit more accurate, but it comes down because of the friction. There's so high friction there, where this one has kind of the best of both worlds, where you have a better glide, the high accuracy, and it's just a really smooth feel. I mean, it's kind of got that really luxurious feel that you should get for that price. But now to the negative, already this actually arrived this way. I have a piece of aluminum that is already coming off. This is like almost a painted texture, and it's already coming off to expose the aluminum beneath. I was really mad because Razer wasn't going to replace it. They gave me a real hard time, and finally I just had to kind of be a jerk about it and say, you've got to be kidding. Like, I've never had a product arrive like this and then refused a replacement, and not my money back, just a straight up replacement. But I guess since, you know, you have to be a jerk to get anything done, they finally agreed, and I can't RMA it. So that's what I'm going to be doing right after this review, because I do want to use this. I really, really like this mouse mat. It's probably my favorite besides the problems, and the other negativity is, you know, if it's this bad now, who knows how longevity is going to be on this product for 50 bucks, and it's got something to prove because the ironclad sucked with longevity. I mean, it's peeling here so bad that I just can't stand that. So time will tell if this thing holds up, but first impressions are really good. I think they'll get better as long as my replacement doesn't have the blemishes on it. You know, I don't think there's much else you can say about the mouse mat, but I think I really like it.